Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. Thank you all so much for being here and listening to us. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline.
I'd like to think that you were going to say love of my life, and that's why you tripped up.
I tripped up because I was having some Girl Scout cookies, and
they're so good, though.
They're very rich.
They are delicious. And I need to find some more young female entrepreneurs to get some more cookies.
Well, it is a lovely Sunday afternoon, and we are inside celebrating Bockfest because
it's Bock season, baby.
Because I don't think we are going to go down to Bockfest this year.
What? Not at all? No. We're going.
I think we need childcare first, right?
No, we can just bring the kids. They'll be fine.
We can bring the kids?
Yeah.
Saturday.
You just got to chug your beer.
Yeah.
But, we're not going to go, during party hours. We're going to go early.
Oh, yeah? I didn't know this.
I didn't know we weren't going at all. That is very false news.
It's false news?
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
We are going. I will go to Bockfest with Lily. You and Elliot can stay home.
Well, it's not that I don't want to go. It's that I thought we had plans on Saturday.
That's Saturday night.
Okay.
Nothing Saturday morning.
Okay.
Or Sunday morning.
Yeah, probably Sunday would be the better of the two.
That's usually family day. We usually never go on Sunday anymore, but it's family day. They got I will research while you say what we're drinking. Can you reach? We put an extra leaf in the table, so now it's really long.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Bockfest, first of all. And we have a variety of Bock beers. Most of them we've never had before, at least before this year.
Which is rare for us. Well, I think I might have had... What did I drink at Bockfest last year? I don't remember. I knew I drank ones that were hard to find, but we're at Bockfest. But what are we starting our day off with?
Oh, no. We're going to... First, I'm introducing the episode, and then I'm going to do the transition.
Okay.
It's like we just started podcasting. It's like it's not our 92nd episode or something.
We moved. I'm in the middle of building IKEA furniture.
Yes.
My brain is a bit mess.
Well, we're going to talk about Bock beer, Bock season. What is it? But mostly about the beer.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. And stuff.
All right. So we're going German. We're drinking the Paulaner Salvator, which is a double Bock. Paulaner is a brewery in Munich.
Munchen,
if you want to do the German version. And it says on the bottle since 1634, so they are hella old. And it's of course brewed according to the Bavarian purity law, the Reinheitsgebot, water, hops, yeast, malt. And I feel very ripped off because every European brand pretty much does this now.
Mm-hmm.
They give you 11.2 ounces instead of the 12 ounces or the 500 milliliters or the liter.
Yeah.
It used to be, I remember going to the party source, and it used to be that if you wanted a German beer, you would buy it by 500 milliliters in that quantity. I think you can still do that, but at places like the party source, you have to buy them individually now.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they used to sell them by the case, like in 500 milliliter bottles. Particularly Weizenbock. Yeah. Because those are the bottles that we use to homebrew in.
Yeah. It's because it's the standard mid-size bottle in Europe. Because 3 of those make a liter. So it's a third of a liter bottle.
Is that why it's 11.2 or whatever?
Yes.
I remember buying 500 milliliters back in the day, though. But
Oh, yeah.
they're getting harder to find, like within the case, in form of case. Like if you want a case of it and you don't want to buy it individually. But we went to Jingle Jams.
Yes, we did.
And I got some Bock beer. I'm so excited. So Paulaner, I don't know that I've had Salvador before. If I did have it, it's been a very long time.
Yeah, because most of the German Oktoberfests we have had, but not a lot of the like Bockfest beers, or I guess just Bock beers.
Yeah, this is a double Bock. It has a little monk on it with a little, looks like a little George Washington, I guess, with the wig and the jacket.
It's that old timey.
The monk. Yep.
Yeah, old timey fashion.
It's very good, very malty, very. It's caramel colored.
Yes, it's caramel colored. It's pretty flat. But it is in a brown bottle, which means it's going to hold up better than if it was in a green bottle. Because
it doesn't taste flat, but the head did go away very quickly.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a Weizenbock, like a German Weizenbock, because the beers that we're going to drink today, at least half of them are Weizenbocks.
I don't know.
And well, we can talk about that later, but
yeah.
What do you think of this?
It's a good beer. I mean, Bock beer is like my second favorite beer.
What's your favorite?
Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier. Not Oktoberfest? I like Oktoberfest and Bock.
Bockfest is my favorite season because we have to do the least amount of work, but I still get to enjoy all the things. And then, so Schwarzbiers and then Bock beers and then whatever is in my glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the Schwarzbier when we went to Grainworks yesterday. I missed it as I was perusing through the board, but
it's called Luke, I Am Your Lager. I thought it was just a lager. I didn't even notice that it was a Schwarzbier. And then he hands me a mason jar.
Because their glasses are mason jars.
Yeah, it was just like a plain mason. It was really weird. I've never seen that before.
I guess technically it was a canning jar because it didn't say mason on the side of it.
Okay, fine.
So it's a canning jar.
Fine. Kleenex.
Like it's not a Xerox machine. It's a photocopier.
Kleenex, yeah. I get it. I'm the marketing guy.
You should know better.
I should know better, but it was mason jar-esque. It didn't have a mason jar in it though. So it technically wasn't. But we can talk about Grainworks, or we opening Madtree.
We're going to open up Madtree because this is the new one to the party.
To the packaging party.
Yeah.
I noticed that Madtree, who celebrated 10 years.
Yeah, they celebrate 10 years this year because we're old.
Yeah.
Oh, stretch. This is a long table.
So
this is much darker.
Madtree celebrated 10 years. I think this weekend is their big party. The weekend that we're recording.
Possibly.
So we missed it. This is coming in on Thursday, so it doesn't matter. But I think they've always done a Bock beer.
I think so too.
At least in recent years, but it's been like exclusively on draft. And that's fair because Bock beer is literally one season.
It's like a month.
Sorry. Bock beer is literally one weekend.
So
Bockfest is literally one weekend.
They're slowly like expanding it out. Like, because Third Eye had events this weekend for Bockfest. Where or like they had like their own little mini Bockfest at Third Eye, which are like that's stuff that I'm like super excited about. As like everybody starts to do like their own little thing, like we've got like 30 Oktoberfests across the city. When you like break it down into like even just like, oh, we had something in our tap room for a day. To me, that still counts as an Oktoberfest. And now we're starting to do that with Bockfests as well. Because that is kind of the complaint with people when you start talking to them about Bockfest season is, oh yeah, so like Bockfest beers sell like all of February and then the first weekend in March. And then once the big Bockfest is over, they barely sell. I will always buy your Bockfest. I will always buy your Bock beer. But I also try to be like that nice person where like if I see you have a pumpkin beer in December, I'm going to order your pumpkin beer so I can help you kick the keg. But if you have a Bock beer, I'm going to help you drink your Bock beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the challenge. So a lot of places don't package, or they haven't packed in the history of Bockfest. They haven't packaged.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that is, it's grown to where people feel comfortable packaging. Which is, if you told me that 10 years ago, that would be crazy talk.
Yeah. I mean, Madtree just existed 10 years ago.
Yeah, but this is a Doppelbock.
Yes. So this is Madtree's Guten Bock. Guten Tag. And the can art is really cool because it looks like a German building. Does this look like the building where the Glockenspiel is?
It's different colors, obviously, but it's very similar.
Yeah. And they got a goat on the front eating some flowers because that is what goats do.
Bock means goat, a billy
yes.
goat.
That's
in German.
Yes, that's what they say on there.
Einbach is
So it's good goat.
Good goat, not billy goat. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
and so this one is 7.4%.
Yeah, that's the other thing about Bock beers. They are very malty. They're very caramely. They're very heavy.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be your food because you're not really supposed to eat a ton of food.
And this is your liquid bread that you drink during Lent. And do you want to tell the story about the Pope and the spoiled beer?
Oh, yeah, the story that we tell every year on Bockfest season.
Which I think
was told to us by a monk.
And Mike, right?
Yeah, it was told to us by a Franciscan monk who hangs out in Cincinnati.
I'm pretty sure Mike was there, right? When he tells that story too.
Yeah.
Mike with the hat?
Oh, yeah, Mike with the hat. Yes. The Curefy Mike.
Yeah. Is that the same Mike that does Bruce Guy Happy Hour?
No.
That's a different
Oh,
Mike.
wait, no. Wait.
The lawyer.
Oh, the lawyer. Yeah, Michael D. Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got confused. When you said Mike with a hat, I was thinking one of the Kurzals and Club. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, so Michael Morgan, I think, tells a similar story. The one that we were told was in the Ratskeller of our Kirche by a monk.
Church.
I was being all mysterious. So basically the monks were trying to figure out how they were going to sustain themselves through Lent. And so these monks in Germany came together and they brewed this very rich malty beer, threw as much stuff in it as they could think of to try to make it a more hearty beer than their usual brews. But being good monks, they wanted to get approval from the Pope to make sure that he was fine with them drinking this beer all through Lent. Because since it was a more rich beer, it was a more alcoholic beer. So they loaded up a keg on a cart and sent it to go see the Pope. And along the way, because this is in ye olden times before refrigeration was a thing, the keg spoiled. And so the Pope said, when he tried the beer, if you guys want to drink this, you guys can drink as much as you want. Because he had bad beer. And that is where Bock beer came from.
That is the legend.
That is the legend of Bock beer.
Told by a Franciscan monk.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael D. Morgan. I'm not going to do the impression, though. So that's how we got Bock beer during Lent. And this Madtree Bock beer, it's really good.
Oh, so the 20th anniversary of Bockfest was back in 2012. It's the 31st Bockfest this year. This cup looks really good for being like 12 years old.
20
or 11 years old. Yeah.
Are you sure?
31st Sonder Brewing Bockfest. Because Sonder Brewing is now the premier sponsor of Bockfest.
Yeah, and I tried to get Sonder Bock. I couldn't find it at Jingle Jams.
Yeah. We might have had to like go to their tap room to get some, like to get it in cans.
Bock is hard to find in packaging.
It is. Well, because it's not like Kroger isn't necessarily going to be like, yeah, give me your seasonal Bock. They want like your winter ale. Or
surprisingly, though, I did see it. I did see Madtree's seasonal Bock beer at our Kroger.
And our Kroger doesn't have anything.
At our Kroger, that doesn't have Little Kings.
Sad panda.
But they have.
But we did almost crush a case of Little Kings at Elliot's second birthday party. I was wondering whether or not there was going to be beer at your cousin's kid's birthday party that we went to this weekend. And then I remembered, it was a 16-year-old's birthday party where teens were going to be coming. No, you can't bring the beer to that one.
You can bring beer to infants' parties, but you can't bring beer to a 16-year-old's birthday.
Yeah. Got to keep the beer out of the hands of the teens. So this year, Sonder Brewing is their premier sponsor. Instead of Christian Moerlein, but Christian Moerlein hasn't been the sponsor for 2 or 3 years now.
I think that the 2020 was the last year.
Yeah, so everything has gone through a lot of changes. And Bockfest Hall is still located at Finley Playground at 1811 Vine Street. So that still means it's going to be a lot of outdoors with tents. They don't really have like a big indoor space there. So they'll have other venues that'll be inside spaces, like I know Arnold's participates, and that's an indoor space. But we don't have access to Bockfest, like the big indoor Bockfest hall like we used to.
That's where Bockfest was forever.
It was. I think it still pops up as Bockfest Hall on Google Maps, but I don't know. I haven't looked for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to scrub that information.
Yeah.
The internet.
So I know it's confusing. A lot of people, all of the beers are available on draft, just the same way they were last year. But again, this year they are doing a Bock beer experience where you can pre-buy your tasting of all of the Bock beers that they have on draft. You still have access to all of those beers, whether or not you buy the tasting experience.
But
you have to buy them in pints versus like tasters.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the tasting tickets include 4-ounce samples of every Bock beer on draft, plus a Bockfest pint glass. I mean, at the very least, we need to go get a Bockfest pint glass. We have gotten rid of a lot of pint glasses, but we're keeping all of our Bockfest ones.
We didn't get one last year.
We did not. So if anyone is selling a 2022 Bockfest pint glass for a reasonable price, don't come at me with your $100 for a pint glass. I ain't that crazy. And they're again doing historic brewery tours, but those do fill up fast. So you can buy tickets online ahead of time. Odds are slim if you go in the day of and say, hey, I want to do a brewery tour, that they will have tickets at a reasonable time. Like you'll either have to wait 3 hours because the next 3 or 4 tours are sold out, or they're already sold out for the day.
Yeah. We forgot about the Bockfest parade. Are we talking about Bockfest? Bockfest parade kicks off.
Yeah. So
this Friday. Yes. Hopefully tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Thursday. It's just a silly parade where people dress up as monks, and we have floats. Or do they have floats?
Yeah, but it's like people decorate shopping carts. Not like Macy's Day parade floats.
Yeah. And there's lots of goat themed stuff going on. There's the big Trojan horse, but it's a goat thing.
Yep.
That is the symbol of Bockfest. It's on my little pint glass. My pint glass says 2020.
Yeah. I pulled up whatever pint glasses we had. Do we want to open up Grainworks?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the parade starts at 6 p.m. on Friday, March 3rd this year. And basically you just like... so see here, there are no fire trucks for the kids, but in the past, entries have included faux monks pulling a Trojan goat, goat busters, German beer bands, kegmen, goats on segways, Bockopolyps, Bachtersus, and patriotic chants of drink more beer, which I can get behind.
According to Lily's school, it's Dr. Seuss week this week.
It is. So I have to like put her in crazy socks on tomorrow. I don't know. I have to read the fridge. She's going to wear Christmas socks and then like a Christmas sock. And then I got to see what socks I have unpacked that I can stick her in.
All right. Also, if you're going to the parade, a great spot, shameless plug, is you can go to Old St. Mary's, which is on 13th in
Main?
Is that Main Street?
No, it's...
Main Street is one over. Oh, yeah, Main.
Yeah.
It should be Main.
Washington Park.
They have their fish fry there, and it's a great spot to view the parade because it goes
right on past them.
Right past them. I think it's towards the end of the parade.
Yeah. Ooh, so registration's closed if you want to participate in the parade, but it's $25 for nonprofits or community groups, $50 for like businesses, but $100 if you're a politician.
Like that.
And it's tax deductible donation.
I'm assuming it goes towards the restoration.
Yeah, the over the Rhine.
The trail.
Yeah, the historic brewery tour.
Which is itself a nonprofit. They restore the buildings and keep it all historical.
Yeah, and I'm excited for our upcoming brewery tour, or our upcoming historic brewery tour. We haven't scheduled it yet, but we get to schedule it soon because we get to see how much has changed since 2014.
Yeah.
Ooh, this beer is really yummy. So I'm assuming this is just like a straight Bock because this is a lot lighter.
No, this is a Weizenbock.
Oh, yes, a Weizenbock. So it's a more weedy Bock.
Yeah, so it's definitely not lighter as far as like alcohol goes.
I meant in color. It does taste really light though, which is very dangerous because it's probably still like 7%.
It is 6.8%.
Yeah.
And,
I'm gonna eat another cookie.
And this is a pint. This is bigger. This is the biggest packaging that we have, though it only came in a 4-pack. But this is a pint, so 16 ounces. It is.
And what is the name of this beer?
Cincinnati Liars Lager. Layers.
That's Liars.
Liars Lager. It is by Grainworks Brewing Company. It says, a strong, malty, fruity wheat Bock lager combines the best malts and yeast flavors of a Weiss beer with the malty, rich flavor, strength, and body of a Guten Bock. Brewed in honor of those who operated the Voice of America, stood up to fascism and tyranny, and spread the truth. When they began to broadcast real, accurate news to the oppressed peoples of Europe in 1944 from the VOA station in Westchester. Hitler called them the Cincinnati Liars. Interesting.
I mean, they're right next to the VOA park.
And then it says, we encourage you to visit and support VOA, National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting. And then it has a QR code. because everything has a QR code now.
Okay.
Even commercials do.
But stuff had QR codes like 10 years ago. And you're like, oh, my uncle has no idea what QR codes is. He's such a noob.
Well, no one scanned them 10 years ago. And then all of a sudden, there was a Super Bowl commercial. And then it's like, everyone has a QR code. It's just like everyone got in a room and decided QR codes are a thing. We're going to do it. We're going to force it.
It was COVID because COVID said, don't hand out menus because menus can transmit the virus. So people put QR codes on their tables where you had to scan the QR code to get the menu and scan this other QR code to get the beer list. And then people got used to that. And then they put them everywhere.
I don't remember seeing them before 2022.
COVID.
Like
COVID's what did it.
I don't think so, but okay. So that's an interesting thing that I didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that during this occupied Germany and the Soviet Union era, so like the 1945 on, I guess, the Iron Curtain. I knew we were broadcasting stuff to them.
But you didn't know it was from Westchester. I don't know if I knew it was from Westchester either.
Oh, no, this was before that. They said 1944. So this was during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
We were broadcasting. It just says to the oppressed peoples of Europe. But yeah, I didn't know it was from Westchester. So that's pretty cool. The more you know. So this is a Weizenbock, as you said. It tastes lighter, but it still has that caramely color to it.
Mm-hmm. And all of these beers are very dangerous. Very good that we're not going anywhere after this.
And just like the Paulaner, very similar to the Madtree, the head disappeared very quickly. I don't even see any bubbles, although it doesn't taste flat. It is. There's some bubbles on the surface. It's not a ton though. So the head goes away very quickly. Do you want to talk about Grainworks? We went to Grainworks.
Yeah. So we were crazy people, and we went to IKEA on Saturday because only crazy people. Well, I mean, so it wasn't that bad. I feel like IKEA in the spring or IKEA in like August before kids go to college is probably way more insane on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But we knew what we wanted to buy. So we had everything all written down, and we only did the first floor. We didn't go up to the second floor, and we got everything that we wanted to get. We did good, and the kids only went a little bit crazy.
Elliot went crazy.
Yeah, he just wanted to run around, like real bad.
Little dude, he can't run around a warehouse.
No, yeah, that's not allowed.
I was dumb. My IKEA skills are not very good, apparently, because I put a box.
You covered up a QR. You covered up a barcode.
Yep.
Yeah, that's IKEA 101. You never do that.
It even says it on the cart. Make sure the barcodes are up. I don't know. I didn't even think of that. I was thinking about the kids, Elliot trying to escape his harness and his
Yeah, he just wanted to run, and we're like,
stroller.
Okay, dude, you can run for a little bit, but once we get to the warehouse, you are locked in. And he's like, ah!
Oh, he I bet if he wanted to, I bet he could unbuckle that, but
he hasn't figured it out yet. He'll get there in a minute, though.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what was more crazy, deciding to go to IKEA when we knew everything that we wanted with two small kids, Or deciding after those two small kids went psycho around IKEA, hey, Grainworks is nearby. Let's go there for lunch. But Lily enjoyed the mac and cheese and grilled cheese. Elliot is in that phase of life where he loves it one day and hates it the next.
Yeah, I thought mac and cheese, Mama Bear's mac.
He would have loved it today. Yesterday, he wasn't having it.
Yeah, he threw it on the floor.
Because, this is a kid where, if I make grilled cheese at home, sometimes he will eat a whole grilled cheese sandwich all on his own. Other days, he's one bite and, yeah, I don't want it. And that yesterday was a, yeah, I don't want it day. So I got a flight. Joe got a Luke, I am your logger. The kids were mostly behaved for lunch. And then because it was cold outside, all of their patio furniture was shoved up to one side. So it was just okay, Joe, bring the beers out. I'm going to go outside with the kids and just let the kids run around their patio. And they had a blast. Now, would I let them do that in the middle of summer when there's 30 people around? No. We were the only ones outside because we were the only ones crazy enough to be outside. Everybody else went right into the building and stayed inside.
Yeah. There's a baby shower there. So.
There was.
You never had a baby shower at a brewery.
No. I mean, I guess I could have gotten one with Elliot, but Elliot was also the middle of COVID. So we were we probably shouldn't do a party. We're all going to die. Now we're not like that, so it's fine.
It was late into COVID.
Yeah. I mean, we did brew a keg of beer for a house party for Lily. When I was pregnant with Lily.
We did.
So that's basically like a brewery party.
It didn't go very well.
Well, most of our friends don't drink beer because they're weird.
Well, the kegging part didn't go well.
Well, yeah, we know more now. We'll do better next time. Hopefully there will be a next time.
That was it was a diaper party, right?
Yes, it was a diaper party.
So it was my guy shower thing.
Yes.
The goal was to brew a American wheat with blueberry, a blueberry flavored American wheat beer, and a strawberry flavored or raspberry.
It was raspberry. We only made the raspberry. We never made the blueberry.
So it would be a boy versus girl, and then whoever kicked the keg, that would be the sex of the child. Yeah,
that was your way of voting whether you thought it was a boy or a girl. That'd still be fun to do, but man, our friends do not drink that much beer.
No. We only made one. We had a normal one and a flavor.
No, we just made one.
We just had the flavored.
Yep.
Was it raspberry or blueberry?
It was raspberry.
Because now I don't remember.
I remember. It was raspberry.
Yeah. And you didn't have any.
I had 3 sips of it because that was all I was allowed to have.
Yeah.
But yes, Grainworks beer is really good. And when we went to Grainworks, all the beer was very delicious.
Yeah, you got a flight. I will write us something soon, hopefully.
Yeah, for the blog.
For the blog.
It's for the blog.
Yes. So this is a Weizenbock, which I don't hate.
I love it.
It's very good, yeah.
I mean, because this is more dangerous to me because it's more smooth. I have the Doppelbocks have been really dark and very flavorful. So I'm let me savor this and really enjoy this.
And they feel heavy on the stomach.
Yeah, versus
this feels light.
This is still very delicious, but it feels like a much lighter beer. So I'm let's chug this. And then an hour later, it's, what have I done? Yeah. The room is spinning. Where are the children?
Luckily, the children are sleeping, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a Grainworks beer. This is probably my first Grainworks beer.
In packaging.
In packaging, for sure.
Because I'm trying to remember, and that's at the top of the episode, whether or not you cut it out. I don't remember what beers I had at Bockfest last year. I'm sure somewhere I said what I had, but I haven't listened to it recently, so I don't remember. But I remember at Bockfest thinking of what are the places that I haven't been to yet, / where are the places where it's going to be hardest for me to get their Bock beer. Let me drink those at Bockfest versus my normal go-tos. Like, I'm not going to go for Emancipator because I have Emancipator in our fridge. Now, I don't think that they make Emancipator anymore.
They do not. They haven't for a while.
So that was a bad example. But, like, I'm not going to get Brink's because we went to Brink and we got a crowler of their Bock beer. So I'm going to try to get, like, I might have gotten Grainworks, but I don't remember.
I remember getting a Weizenbock. I don't remember if it was Grainworks or HighGrain, because HighGrain's is a Weizenbock as well.
Yeah, and we hadn't been to HighGrain yet at that point last year either.
Yeah. Definitely sweeter, a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
and
dangerous.
like a relative term.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a light beer.
No.
But compared
to like a Salvador or a Emancipator or even the Madtree one.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the Grainworks bartender if the Weizenbock was made for Bockfest.
Mm-hmm.
He said yes, it was. It's just a seasonal thing.
I mean, it's also Cincinnati. If you don't have an Oktoberfest or a Bock beer in Cincinnati, we're like, what are you doing with your life?
Well, it doesn't mention Bockfest or it doesn't have a monk on it. It doesn't have a goat on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Because Madtree has a goat. Emancipator has some monks.
It has,
and HighGrain has
the packaging has a radio tower on it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting, I guess, packaging design.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a unique packaging design.
I mean, it for sure tells a story, which is cool.
Story, but it kind of reads like, it benefits the museum or whatever.
And it might.
Like it's a collaboration, but it doesn't say that it's a collaboration, or it doesn't say that it's a what?
You're talking sideways.
It doesn't say that, it's a benefit or a collaboration or anything like that. It just says Cincinnati Liars Lager with a radio tower. So I thought maybe it wasn't for Bockfest.
Yeah. I mean, that is a decent point.
Or maybe it is for Bockfest, like they submitted to Bockfest, but maybe it's like a year-round thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was my point. Hey everyone, Joe Ludwig here with the one and only Caroline.
Hey!
Before we get to the main topic of today's episode, we wanted to pause briefly and tell you about how you can support the show.
So if you enjoy listening to the podcast and reading our blog posts every week, then you now have the opportunity to support the show through Buy Me a Coffee. Here's what you need to know. It's super easy to do. You don't have to set up an account to contribute. You have options. Send us a one-time donation or sign up as a member to contribute on a monthly or yearly basis. Plus, you can unlock exclusive content.
To learn more about how you can support the Craft Parenting Podcast through Buy Me a Coffee, click the link in the show notes. And now, back to the show.
Okay, do we want the new beer or the old beer?
Let's do the Weizen.
Okay.
Stick with the Weizen because it's going to be lighter.
Welcome to ASMR with Craft Parenting Podcast. This has been ASMR with the Craft Parenting Podcast.
That is so creepy. So when I
might have poured myself too much. I might need to eat another cookie or get out that hummus and pita chips, which are both great foods for a podcast.
Hummus or carrots.
Mm-hmm. So this also looks a lot like the HighGrain beer in terms of color.
The Grainworks?
Yes, the Grainworks Weizenbock, which has a lovely goat with giant horns.
No. This is HighGrain.
Sorry, HighGrain.
This
What
is
did I
this
oh my
is
goodness.
Grainworks. So you're saying that
I've had beers.
the HighGrain looks like the Grainworks. It doesn't help that, the names are similar.
They both have grain in their name. So the HighGrain beer has a goat with some lovely horns on it.
Looks demonic.
They're like, one of the Krampus in Cincinnati, Krampi? One of the Krampus in the Cincinnati Krampus Loft group has horns like that. I mean, because Krampus has goat's horns. That's what he says. That's the description, is goat's horns.
So this is HighGrain Brewing Company's Weizenbock, which has, as you mentioned, a giant goat on the front and the horns on the front. Bock, 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 bock. This is 7.1% ABV.
Oh man, that does not drink like that. She said as she stumbled over her words because she's had beers.
Strong, malty, fruity, full-bodied, and warming. Oh, the name of it is IBEX. IBEX. That's the name of the beer.
Oh.
IBEX. IBEX.
How do you spell it?
IBEX.
Huh. IBEX? That's weird.
It's well balanced and finishes smooth. This amber ruby beauty has notes of ripe bananas, plums, and hints of licorice, all topped by a fine, creamy head.
I would not argue with most of that.
Yeah, the head.
Maybe some strong discussions about portions of it.
Head is going away. It's a lot more than the Salvator or the Madtree or the Grainworks one, though.
Yeah, like a lot more head retention. It's a very yummy beer. I'm definitely getting it's malty. Let me see that can, because I got half of it before you said it.
Banana, plum.
I'm definitely getting some banana.
Bananas.
Maybe plums, because I'm really bad at telling you what a plum tastes like.
Yeah. Banana is a very common flavor in a wheat beer.
Yes.
So they probably used.
Well, because a Hefeweizen just means that a Weizenbock. Oh my goodness, trying to find words now, it's getting hard. A Weizenbock means that at least 50% of your grain bill is wheat.
Oh yeah, I do get banana. So wheat beer, you can have bubblegum or banana.
It's bubblegum, banana, or cloves.
Or cloves, yeah.
Depending upon how you treat the wheat or what flavor of wheat you get.
And the temperature you store it at.
It's the temperature that you brew the beer. Marco was yelling at us until you said that.
Okay. The temperature you brew the beer?
Yeah.
I thought it was where you ferment it at. No? Okay.
Yes. It's been a hot second. We really need to pick up a homebrew kit from Listerman and put our basement kitchen to use.
Yeah.
And then the kids can just run past us in Thomas the Tank Engine as we're brewing.
Oh, God. I don't know about that, but I would rather them be asleep.
Well, no, they can be asleep for part of it and then being Thomas the Tank Engine for the other part of it. They do not nap as well as they used to. So, if you want them asleep for all of brew time, that means you have to brew through the middle of the night. And that does not go well because we were supposed to record this episode last night. And then we fell asleep putting the children to bed.
Yeah, it's been bad. We've been falling asleep a lot.
It's because we're so cozy in this house. That's why.
Yes, that is why. It has nothing to do with us packing up all of our crap and moving.
Yeah, so part of our IKEA adventure included getting bookshelves so we can start building a library in the new house because we left our bookshelves at the old house. which I guess technically we could have brought them with us.
They were mounted to the wall.
I mean, one, they were mounted to the wall, and two, I was just too lazy at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, they asked if the bookshelves could stay, and I was like, yeah, the bookshelves can stay. Like, I don't feel like messing with that. And technically, since they're mounted to the wall, that means they stay with the house.
Yes.
Though the people that we bought this house from, they left the wall portion of the TV mounts on the wall, but took everything else. So all of the wall mounts that they left are useless because I don't have the part that interfaces with the TV. That is my rant for right now. So I have to buy new wall mounts for my TVs because I can't. They're Costco Walmarts, and we don't have a Costco card.
Oh, are they? How do you know that?
Because I Googled it to see if I could buy a wall mount on the interwebs so I could just use the wall mount that was already mounted to the wall. But it's Costco, and we don't have a Costco membership. They didn't have all the bookshelves that I wanted in stock. So I bought half the bookshelves that I wanted. We're going to mount those to the wall and then start unpacking some of our books. We have a lot of books. So many books.
Yeah, we do.
It's a very good problem to have. And I bought a desk for my craft room downstairs and a chaise for one of our bay windows. So I can sit in my chaise and watch bird/squirrel/deer TV. And today, as I was assembling, I was putting the cover on the cushions for the chaise, and Lily said, "You assemble a lot of furniture, Mommy." And I was like, "Yeah, Mommy's assembling furniture for the new house." And she's like, "Do other mommies assemble lots of furniture?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but your mommy does."
Did she really say that?
That was pretty much verbatim our conversation.
Oh, man.
She is very observant now. She's a fantastic helper. Unless if she's tired. And then she shreds a lot of cardboard and makes a big mess. And charges you $5 for water or $5 for lemonade. And you're like, why is the water $5? You're not supposed to charge $5 for water. It's supposed to be free or pretty close to free. So yes, Mommy will take the lemonade. Okay, here's a giant piece of cardboard that is your, quote, lemonade, end quote.
She's been, like when she plays, she's very, I've noticed that she wants money for the stuff, the pretend stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's something that they're playing with in school, like
Yeah.
pretend money or whatever.
Well, so because this conversation started with, she asked me what I wanted to eat. And I said, Mommy wants a big glass of cold water. And Lily said, okay. And then she said, you want lemonade? And I was like, well, how much is it? And she was like, it's cold. And I said, okay, but how much is it? It's warm. Okay, but how much does the lemonade cost? At $5. Okay, how much is the water? At $5. Is the lemonade cold? At $5. Mommy will take a glass of lemonade.
Our little capitalist.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so when I picked her up from your parents' house on Friday, she handed me a giant stack of money that lives in her register because she has her own little grocery store register at your mom's house.
Okay, so that's where the money comes from.
Yes. And it's all 5s, 10s, 20s, and 50s. I was like, this is a lot of money. You don't know that this is a lot of money, but this is like a lot of money. Because there were but like I remember when I had a pretend grocery store and stuff, it was like 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Maybe a 50 or 2.
Yeah, that's the modern monetary theory.
Yeah.
Print.
Well, I mean, if you read like Little House on the Prairie, they're like, oh, I used 5 cents today to buy like a wheelbarrow. And you're like, what? That is crazy.
Yep.
This beer is very tasty. If you want to open up the next beer, you're going to need to get another glass. I mean, I'll finish this, but it depends on how quickly you want this podcast episode to end.
We're at 53 minutes.
That's a lot of beer. And for the record, Joe did say, as I pulled out all of the Bock beers that we have, we don't have to drink all of these on the episode. And I was like, Wrong.
Wrong.
We do.
All right.
Now, this was like an Oktoberfest episode. Yeah, we're only going to pick out like 4 or 5 beers from our fridge that are Oktoberfest beers. Because we'll end up with like 15 different Oktoberfest beers in our fridge. I mean, we might not have ever had 15, but like it could happen. Because I buy a lot of beer. And I'm very bummed because my coworker went to Red Silo. Or my coworker went down to Tennessee but didn't get me any more beers from Red Silo.
You asked him to.
I did, and he did not. So I need to see if they ship so I can, because I got Nutcase. I got Nutcase from Listerman, and I want to try it next to their peanut butter porter.
I would like to correct the record. We do not have 15 Oktoberfest beers. We're not the gnome.
We're not.
It's like 5 or 6, maybe. Like during COVID.
We end up with like a ton of Christmas beers, though.
During COVID, yeah. I went out of my way to get different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because we couldn't go to the tap room. We were, locked down or whatever. So I'm super excited for this one.
I am intrigued. I don't know if I would use excited, but I will say intrigued. Now, granted, this isn't the oldest beer that I've drank out of our beer fridge, so I know it's going to be fine.
This is Christian Moerlein's Emancipator.
And I think last year in our Bockfest episode, we talked about how this was an old beer that we pulled from the back of our beer fridge. Now this beer is not only from the back of our beer fridge, we have moved houses.
Yeah, so this is a 7% ABV. Doppelbock beer was first brewed in Munich in
Oh, it smells so good.
1634 by the medieval hermits of St. Francis. The beer serves as liquid bread during fasting. Today, the award-winning Moerlein Emancipator, with its rich, robust flavor, is brewed as a tribute to the original Franciscan hermits and our brewery's neighbors, the Franciscan friars of the province of St. John the Baptist. So raise an Emancipator and sing Ein Prosit in tribute.
Ein Prosit, Ein Prosit, der Gemütlichkeit. Ein Prosit, der Gemütlichkeit. Eins, zwei, drei, super.
Zigga zagga, zigga zagga.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Zigga zagga, zigga zagga.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Prost.
Prost.
I can't reach.
We can't reach. Imaginary Prost. Clink. I miss this beer so much. Because this is so good. It's smooth and malty and roasty. And this is up there with dangerous beers in this lineup. I mean, all of these beers are dangerous because they don't taste alcoholic. And now granted, like, they're not
taste alcoholic.
They're not.
Emancipator is super heavy to me.
Yeah, they're not triple point beers because they're not 10 point somethings, but they're so smooth and easy to drink that it's dangerous.
Emancipator was my first Doppelbock. I'm pretty sure. Back when I attended my first Bockfest in 2011.
Possibly. I mean, that would track with when you turn 21. Because Bockfest made way more sense to go to after you turn 21.
Yeah, because we used to dance, and they would invite us to dance.
And there would be like no one there.
On Sunday, yeah. So we would dance Sunday afternoon. We would go. And
then we just slowly watched it turn from there would be no one there to, hey, we need y'all to move so we have a dance floor.
Yeah, so it was back then. We parked in a dirt parking lot across the street from, Bockfest Hall,
mm-hmm.
the indoor place that was Bockfest Hall.
And then that turned into the tent that we always hung out in.
Yeah.
Because it just grew and grew and grew. I mean, and I'm sure like your parents saw Oktoberfest grow in Cincinnati. like we can now see Bockfest hopefully grow in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever had a positive experience at downtown Oktoberfest. You know?
Well, because they stopped doing downtown Oktoberfest, because we used to have a food booth at downtown Oktoberfest, and some German clubs still have a food booth at downtown Oktoberfest. But like 2 booths down, from what I've been told, like 2 booths down, a car ran through Oktoberfest, and they were like, "Peace out, we're done." Like, this is already stressful enough on us as it is.
Yeah, that was like early 2000s.
Yeah, because it's not only like you need to get like your equipment down there, you need to get all of the food down there as well, and have a place where all of your food lives while it's down there. Versus like we're just like, we have coolers and box trucks full of food for our Oktoberfest because it all lives on site.
Right. And my mom was the secretary of the Schuhplattlers.
Mm-hmm.
And she, I guess, used her... She has a way with words.
She does.
Especially in writing.
It's where you get it from. It's definitely not your dad.
Right. So back then, they were forcing us to dance. So we have probably 5 dance groups.
Technically 5, 4 of them dance at Oktoberfest, downtown Oktoberfest, usually.
Back then, the older people danced too. So the Oktoberfest committee one year put us at
on like 3 different stages.
Yeah, so just random. There were random stages like on 3rd Street.
Which they still have. They have like random stages now because they have like 4 or 5 different stages where they throw bands. But they said, okay, we're going to throw like a dance group in front of that stage. But it'd be like your Kleine Kinder group, which are your little kids, would be at 1 p.m. at this stage, and your Schuhplattlers would be at this other stage across the way,
like 5 blocks down.
Like 5 blocks down the street at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to navigate. Okay, I've got my children are dancing at 1 at this stage, and I have to be at this other stage at 2 with my children because I can't just leave my children at this other stage.
Yeah, so my mom was like, yo, we're dancing at Fountain Square because back then that's where Oktoberfest was. Because
we are the premier dance group in Cincinnati.
We are doing this. We're not asking permission. We are dancing at Fountain Square. Every one of us.
Which I mean, from my memory, is the only place they actually had a dance floor. Everything else was just street.
It varied.
Yeah.
From year to year, but yeah. So then after that, we all danced at the same time on Fountain Square.
Which would be really cool. I mean, it's the same way that we do Germania, where we start off with the Schuhplattlers, or we start off with the youth group, do the little kids, and then end with the Schuhplattlers, or vice versa. I think we start off with the Schuhplattlers and end with the youth group, because we always end with Alwiedersehen, where you combine the Schuhplattlers and the youth group.
The middle group and the Kleine Kinder were in the middle.
Yeah, the middle group and Kleine Kinder are always in the middle.
Yeah.
Because you have to give your time for your people that are in the Schuhplattlers and the youth group a chance to rest and breathe.
Yeah, back then we did double duty.
Yeah, double duty's hard.
I don't know how we did that.
We were young and dumb back then. We had so much energy. It was hilarious. Because we went to a birthday party for Joe's cousin's kid yesterday. I already talked about that. But the kids were like running circles around the little... Our kids, yeah. Around the little space where they had this party. And they were like, oh my goodness, they have so much energy. Or like, oh my goodness, the energy is wasted on the youth. And I'm like, yeah. And we ran these kids around IKEA this morning. Like literally ran them. And they only napped in the car. And they're still doing all of this. Now, granted, both kids were in bed asleep by 8:30. Which is very rare that happens.
I thought it was earlier than that.
I said by 8. It was probably more closer to 8. But they were still running circles around us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bockfest, Bock beer. Emancipator is still delicious, and I miss it. It's our last can.
They don't package this anymore.
That is correct. They do not. We can probably find it at the Lager House. But don't quote me on that because it's been a hot second.
Since I've been.
Yeah.
Christian Moerlein has gone through some disappointing transitions lately. They were trying to do this, what is a blacksmith?
Mm-hmm.
They had this whole branding about blacksmiths. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was
That's
very. We
weird.
talked about it on the podcast. It was very confusing.
It was weird. The beer was okay though.
Yeah.
But they were bought out by this new company. I forget the name, but they're focusing on Little Kings now.
Which, I mean, we like us some Little Kings.
I'm good with that. Yeah. Get us some Little Kings. Yeah. I'm good with that. I'm excited to see what they do with Christian Moerlein, that brand, if they do anything with it.
Yeah, because we're on at least our second case since they brought Little Kings back. And really, I probably need to buy another case because we've only got like 3 bottles left.
We have quite a few downstairs.
Oh. Your family did not drink as much as I thought that they did.
Yeah, we don't need any more beer. If you look at the refrigerator downstairs, we don't need any more beer.
This is true.
We actually probably need to have a party to have people go through our beer fridge.
But we have to be picky and choosy on who we invite because most of them don't drink beer.
I'm pretty sure the people who listen to this podcast would be like, me, pick me.
Hey, yeah, Julia, Marco, Josh, y'all want to come hang out and drink some beer? We have a fire pit. I'm thinking I'm going to start a fire tonight. Joe hasn't heard this one yet. They've got like a fire all set up in there. And I just kind of want to light it so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
I don't think we should do that. But okay.
What? But Fire Safety 101 and 102. Like right here.
Yes.
Those are classes that I took at camp.
I don't know that is in a safe radius.
It's fine.
It's fine, but the deck,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's not going to be a 10-foot fire.
I think we need to close this out.
I've had beers. And that's a great place to come back to before we head home, which we are home, but like we tie a pretty little bow on Bockfest is the best fest this time of year. Bock beer is delicious and everyone should go enjoy it. If you don't like Bockfest, sorry, not sorry, you're wrong.
We had our own mini Bockfest here, but we may show up at Bockfest. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
there was 0% chance that I was going to be like, oh, yep, no Bockfest this year. Like, I will strap the kids in the double stroller and be like, hey, Bockfest. Unfortunately, this year, it does not look like they are doing the, like, or is that Oktoberfest? I thought that was Bockfest, too, where they did, like, a best dressed kind of, like, Little Miss Bockfest thing.
Best dress, like the sausage queen?
Yeah, but, like, mini version for small children where, like, who's in German gear? Sweet, you get a ribbon kind of deal.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that.
We've talked about it at some point, but I don't remember exactly when.
Gnome had the sausage queen on last year. Was that last year?
And she is the last reigning sausage queen, so she says that her reign never ends until they start doing the sausage queen competition again.
They didn't do it last year? Oh, no.
So, but I mean, if they're going to end with anyone, she is a fantastic person, too, because she is all in.
I know.
And she is amazing.
Gnome, have her back on.
You really do need to. They have a petting zoo on Sunday from 11 to 2. So we're going on Sunday. Probably on Saturday, too. So we can say hi to Julia after she's done running.
How is she running?
Probably.
She didn't run last year.
She did. We walked with her last year.
I mean, we walked with her. She didn't run. She doesn't run, I didn't think. I don't run 5Ks. I'm very comfortable saying that.
She did the race. We did the race with her. We will not be doing the race with her this year, but we can still see her after the race.
Although we could pull a Stephen and Hillary
and just do the race anyway.
Yeah,
we could.
We could.
If we get there in time, because it's another early. It's not as early. I think the Hootie is usually 8 and this one's 9. We were almost ready to leave the house at 9 a.m. this morning. We definitely were ready to leave the house at 9 a.m. yesterday morning because our kids wake up stupid early on the weekends.
Not during the week, though.
No, during the week, it's a struggle to get them up. But on the weekends, they're like, hey, it's 6:45. Where are we going? Like, Mama still needs to, like, open her eyes. Let me exist.
Lily does say that. Where are we going?
It's so cute.
I'm like, Lily, it's 6:30 in the morning. Go potty. We're not going anywhere.
We're getting dressed so we can go downstairs. And then if we go somewhere, it's fine.
But it was pretty funny because at like 6 o'clock or whatever, 6:30, our door opened. And I thought I was Elliot.
Uh-huh. Except I was in Elliot's bed sleeping with him.
Oh, I thought you were next to me. I'm like...
Not this morning. Maybe yesterday morning.
Yeah, it was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yeah. Because I was like, I'll put him back in bed. And it was like, oh, it's Lily.
Like, oh no, it's him.
Because he came into our room like 3 times yesterday. So last night I was just like, okay, you're up. Back into your bed. I will sleep with you. And so just for the rest of the morning. So you stay in your bed.
Your pillow's still with him too.
I know. I'll pick it up when I fall asleep in his bed tonight.
Yeah, because I don't like his bed.
I don't either, but I'm too cheap to buy another mattress because this one was free. I mean, I can buy him the same mattress that Lily has.
I mean, the entire bed frame is falling apart.
No, he's pulling it apart because it's fabric batting, and he's pulling at the batting.
Yes, he is.
But the mattress is like a memory foam mattress that does not have a great memory. So it takes a while to spring back up, and it takes a while to sink in. I'm not a huge fan.
No, it sinks.
It does. And then you're like, I am in a hole now. How do I get out? I can buy him the same mattress that Lily has if you'd like me to.
Well, I mean, or you can just sleep with him. Because you seem to be more comfortable in that bed.
I am not.
I keep falling out. Like he also doesn't want me to, he doesn't like sharing with me.
Oh, no. It's because he wants to snuggle with you. Because he like aggressively pushes against me to snuggle with me.
He doesn't want to snuggle. He actively pushes me away.
Oh, he also smacks me in the face. I'm surprised that I haven't gotten a black eye yet because he's kicked me in the eye like 3 times.
Yeah, that's a thing that he's doing now. He headbutts.
He doesn't know how to share his bed.
Oh, no, I think this is separate from that. He headbutts. And he thinks it's funny. He headbutts you and then he giggles.
He has not done that to me, but he has smacked me and then giggled. And I'm like, mm-mm. And he smacks me again. And I'm like, okay, peace out. Bye. You're going to bed by yourself. Keep door handle closed as he's screaming on the other side.
Oh, he's done that. He did that to me yesterday. He smacked me.
Which is why we traded and I put him to bed. And then you had to put Lily to bed.
Yes.
Okay. Bo, Bockfest, Best Fest. We're going to go there at least one day, if not 2. Does anybody want to watch our kids for Saturday night so we can go party with Brian?
Yeah.
Because we need a sitter.
It's Brian's birthday. Brian's been on the podcast before. Brian of Brian and Graham.
Yeah.
Fame, I guess.
So if we go to
his birthday's in March.
Yeah. When we go to Bockfest, it will be with the children, but we'll still have fun.
And he lives in Over the Rhine.
He lives real close. So
he lives really close to the old Bockfest hall. I don't know where his...
They're still pretty close, but it's not super close.
Yeah, I don't know where he lives in comparison to the new Bockfest hall. The old Bockfest hall, he was right there. And he
offered to we could do brunch one morning, but
yeah.
we had the children at that point, so it was hard.
Yeah. And he's super busy.
Very busy. He's always jet setting somewhere.
I mean, yeah, that's his job.
Literally.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have him on soon.
Yeah.
Brian, come on the podcast.
Love you. Okay, hit the button. Do I say button weird? Maybe. Button.
Well, that does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to follow, and subscribe to us on the social media. We're on all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think I have a YouTube video coming up. I have to edit it. It's gonna be different.
Okay, you do you, boo.
I tested some of our equipment.
But in regards to Twitter, if you have any complaints, you can send them to @RagingHop, which is kind of us on Twitter.
I do not associate with Raging Hop on Twitter. Raging Hop is a separate entity from Craft Parenting Podcast.
But send your complaints there.
Yes, do it.
Also, your shift snakes.
Yes, those are the best shift beers. The shift snakes.
You can also get a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. And share the show. It's what helps our show grow. And if you didn't like this show, listen to 10 more shows and then give us a 5-star review, and then you can never listen to us again if that's what floats your boat. But listen to us forever.
Or you can just give us a 5-star review anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you hate us, just 5-star review. 5, it's like golf. 5 is the best, or it's the worst.
And 1 is the best. So give us a 5-star review if you hate us.
Yes.
If you want to send us stuff such as fan mail, craft supplies, or sanity, we have a P.O. box. And if you like listening to us, give us a 5-star review because that's the best and a 1-star is the worst.
Didn't we just say that? We have a website, www.craftparentingpodcast.com, and I am at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram. I post beers that I drink on Instagram.
And I'm at Caroline Creates Crafts, and I post craft things occasionally. And I cannot wait to see what Julia and Marco do with this episode.
And we'll see you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast. I'm Joe, you're Caroline.
Bye. Joe is ignoring me headbanging.